Hello, all. There's something that I've been living into for some time now, and I wanted to share it with you. If archetypes reveal who we are, then harmonics reveal what we are. In the great search of self-knowing, there comes a point when we're invited to move beyond the concept of individual identity and peek beyond the veil at what we are. We are light, we are sound, we are frequency, expressed through divine mathematics. You know, while embodied, we still need archetypes to help us relate to the nonlinear nature of the energetic structure that births all form into being, that which we call God, Source, creation. And this obsession we have with individual identity is necessary. It's an inevitable process of our journey into individuation. But humanity is on the cusp of returning back to the awareness that it came from. The awareness of our entanglement with all of existence, which is actually a remembrance of all as one. To tread in such waters requires an unwavering devotion to truth over knowledge, especially when knowledge is pursued from a field of separation or shame or insufficiency or lack in any expression. Now, I've been very candid about my journey. I absolutely began seeking God out of trauma and perceived unworthiness in order to heal my wounds of separation and rejection. My search was out of pure pain, and I am not shy about saying so. But I absolutely believe that even in the midst of embodying deeply ingrained religious fundamental theologies, that it was my deeper drive to know the truth, to feel the truth, and to put the truth to the test that really fueled my journey forward into something new. And through many seasons of disillusion, of breaking down my identity, confronting beliefs in the mirror of love, and my tenacity to seek that healing, that I would not back down. I credit that for me being able to stand where I am right now, unbothered by the types of change that would once send me into spiral again and again. If seeking the truth of what love really is your guide, then you cannot go wrong. Yet it will ask you to give up every aspect of self-perception. As the saying goes, this path is not for the faint of heart. To seek the divine, you must exhaust all external searching. Now, I understand to speak of the divine outside of our specific associations, identities, It's a tender place for us to go. So we will tread lightly, but go we must. We have a great unconscious need to identify everything and everyone. A great unconscious pattern of anthropomorphizing those we perceive as divine, awakened, enlightened. Even the most refined spiritual modalities we often orient through archetypal identity. And while this supported us in our early ascent, now it's a hindrance. It can quietly tether us unconsciously to hierarchies that no longer serve us. Concepts like God, Jesus, Buddha, ascended masters, Christed ETs, beings from higher dimensions, states of frequency. Most often these come with the subtlest impression of spiritual hierarchy. We just can't help ourselves from believing that we are both somehow lower or lesser than them and seeking to give away our divine power and authority to them or to others. This is the fall. Humanity's fall is actually the fall of all creation. And it's a perfect mistake. The fall is not being a human, but forgetting that to be human is to be divine, that they are two sides of one coin, that the one source inhabits us all. For many, this is blasphemy. For some, even those who have moved on to a higher awareness and work regularly with ascended master teachers, there still can be a subtle lingering feeling that they are somehow above you in some way. And yet here we are. Humanity is on the edge of an explosion into higher self-awareness with, new spiritual sciences like quantum physics and the gene keys and fractal geometry. These are leading the way. And it's not science versus religion anymore. It's science proving the existence of intelligent design. The revelation of the holiness of all form is at our doorstep, whether we embrace this or not. Ancient spiritual teachings revealed eons ago is what science is now proving through math. Harmonic mapping is now emerging. It's ready to take its place in this global shift in self-awareness. And I am only an architect of this. I am not the architect. There are many who have come before me with much greater knowledge and awareness of both the principles of divine mathematics and the several spiritual systems that make up the transmissions of the gene keys and the Sophia code and others. However, my unique contribution is in the embodied assimilation of many different esoteric streams into one flavor And as one who has been in service to this knowledge in previous incarnations, my spontaneous remembrance of this eloquent system of self-knowing called harmonics is still flowering forward. I'm simply in service to it. And as I embody it more and more with my full identity, beyond names and beyond lifetimes, the invitation that I present is not a rejection of the God forms that have guided you along the way, but it is a spiral beyond them into the song of your harmonic self, not instead of, but through, not above, but within. The question is no longer only who you are, but what harmonic signature does your soul sing across time, form, and formlessness? This new frontier emerging in me, through me, is now coming forward as my own soul's sacred service in this lifetime. It's a great joy and a privilege to be walking my own path in such surrender and radical self-honesty as a wayshower for those who are ready to enter this new terrain. I'll be waiting here. If something has stirred in you as I've spoken, that may be your harmonic beginning to remember itself. I'm here. The spiral circle is opening.